Hey, how you doing today, this morning, tonight, whatever time it is, wherever you are? I just wanted to take this time out just quickly to share a thought with you. Um, I'm doing a series at the church about divorcing the quitter, divorcing the quitter in you. And there's a couple of things there's a couple of points uh, that the enemy used to get us to throw in the towel. There's a couple of things that he used to get us to forfeit the blessing of God. The Bible says in Galatians 6 and 9, if we're not, and I'm paraphrasing, but if we're not weary in our well doing, that we will receive a harvest, we will receive a reward. If we don't give up, if we don't quit. The Message Bible says, if you don't give up and quit. And the enemy knows that if he can get us to throw in the towel, if he can get us to quit on the job, if he can get us to quit in the process, he can get us to forfeit everything that the Lord has in store for us. There are blessings that are tied to your life. There are blessings and favor that is tied to your life. But if he can get you to quit, he can get you to forfeit that blessing. Hebrews chapter 10, verse 35 through 36, it talks about flinging away the fearless confidence, because what you don't understand is that when you fling away that confidence, that faith in God, there is compensation, there is a reward that is tied to your confidence in God. When you have confidence in God, you believe that everything that he promised you, everything that he's told you, everything that has been spoken over your life is going to come to pass. But if the enemy can get you to second guess that, if he can get you to move from faith to fear, if he can get you operating in a spirit of fear, then he knows that he has you exactly where he needs you to be. See, when you're feeling like you're in fear, or when fear is on you, you start to feel like you're all alone. You start to feel weak. But Joshua 1 and 9, the Bible says, have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. Why? For the Lord your God, he is with you wherever you go. It says God is with you wherever you go. I don't care where you are in your life. God is with you. I don't care what you're doing in your life. God is with you. I don't care what you're facing in your life. God is with you. And because God is with you, you're going to prosper. Because God is with you, you're going to accomplish everything that you need to accomplish. There is no reason for you to operate in the spirit of fear. And if the spirit of fear is on you, then the spirit of God is not working in you. If the spirit of fear is on you, then the spirit of God is not working in you. God has given you a spirit. He has given you a spirit. It says, for God did not give us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. He has given you power. He has given you authority to overcome every obstacle in your life. He has given you the ability to say something and cause your situation and the atmosphere to turn. You have the ability to declare life and death over your own life. You are the umpire of your life. You determine what stays and what goes. But if the enemy can get you operating in fear, you start to believe that he is the author and the finisher of your faith. You start to believe that he is the one who is controlling what is happening and what is not happening in your life. And so you believe that everything is happening because of the enemy. But you have to understand that you should not be afraid, because God is with you. There is no reason for you to throw in the towel, because God is with you. There's no reason for you to give up and quit, because God is with you. He says in Jeremiah 29:11, man, I know the plans that I have for you. I know the plans that I have for you. My plans for you is for you to have an expected end, a good end. My plans for you is for you to prosper. My plan is not to harm you. My plan is not to demolish you. My plan is not destroy you. Do you not know that the enemy comes to kill, steal, and to destroy? But I come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. You have nothing to fear. The enemy, man, he does not have any control over your life. What he does is he shows you something and you believe that is going to happen. He shows you a thing and you believe that it's going to happen, and your expectation causes that thing to show up in your life. You have the ability, man, to determine what happens in your life. Elijah was fighting 450. He was fighting 450 false prophets. He killed 400, destroyed, demolished 450 false prophets. And he did it because of his faith. He did it after demonstrating much faith in God. He told the people, he said, you build an altar, I'm going to build an altar. You pray to your God, I'm going to pray to my God. And whichever God is the real, the true, and living God, that is going to be the God that is going to do exactly what we say he's going to do. And so they prayed to their God. And they prayed to their God, and they prayed to their God. And the Bible says that Elijah started to mock the people, that he started to talk to them, and he started to ask them questions. What happened to your God? How come your God is not listening to you? And then he prayed. Then he said, well, it's my turn. And he took he built the altar. He put the bull on top of the altar, and he told them, he said, wet the altar. Wet it one more time. Wet it one more time. And then he prayed to his God, and the Bible says that fire came from heaven and consumed the altar. But it was his faith that helped him to defeat these false prophets. And then he went down, and the Bible says he destroyed 450 of them. And after that instance, he received a text message from Jezebel. He received a text message. He received a message from Jezebel saying, I'm going to kill you. The same way that you handled them 450 prophets, I'm going to do the same thing to you. And I don't know what happened in between the 450 and Jezebel in the life of Elijah, but something happened that caused Elijah to look at that text message, look at that message, and run and hide, because he was afraid of what Jezebel said he was going to do. He began to imagine himself dying. He began to watch and see how he killed the 450 people, and he saw himself going through that very same instance. Why? Because fear kicked in. Instead, he should have been like David. When David said, man, this is what I did to the bear. This is what I did to the lion. And the same thing I'm going to do to him. See, you have to remember what God has done for you in the past. You have to remember how God has brought you through in the past. If he's done it for you one time, he's definitely can do it for you again. We say the cliche all the time, but now it's time for us to believe the words that we're speaking when we say Jesus the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. If God did it for someone in the past, he can do it for me right now in the present. If he did it for Abraham, he can do it for Chris. If he did it for the church of Corinth, he can do it for the church of Greater Faith. If he did it for your mama, he can do it for you. You have to believe that God is able to do everything that he has promised you. And don't allow fear to cause you to throw in the towel, because the enemy knows, man. He knows that if he can get you fearful, he can cause you to forfeit everything. He can get you to forfeit everything. We have to get to a point that we operate by faith and not by sight. Prophet R.C. Blake Sr. used to always say, sometimes you have to close your eyes in order to see. And every once in a while, I see myself. I find myself closing my eyes and looking in my spirit man and seeing what my spirit man sees. And all I can do is, I can't open my eyes up. I got to just speak what he sees. And when I speak what he sees, when I open my eyes, I see what I just said. And you have to be in the same way. You have to get to the point in your life where you don't allow fear You don't allow failures of your past. You don't allow people speaking into your life to cause you to forfeit what God has for you. I want you to be able to experience God's best. I want all of us to be able to experience God's best. Listen, I hope that this has blessed someone. I hope that this has lifted you up. I hope that it has inspired you. I hope that it has quickened your faith. If you're in the Houston area, Sunday mornings, 8:30 a.m., Fernette Missionary Baptist Church. We call it the Church of Greater Faith. It's 9132 Fernette Street, Houston, Texas 77016. If you're in the area, we would love to have you come and join us. Come and be a part of our service. Come and experience and worship with us. We experience God's presence like never before. We are experiencing His presence like never before. Sunday after Sunday, God is just elevating us and moving us to the next level. We are growing. We are a growing church. We are a loving church. We would love to have you a part of our services. If you're in the area, Tuesday nights at 7 o'clock, we have an hour-long service on Tuesday nights. If you're in the area, we would love to have you come and be a part of our Tuesday night Bible studies. We're currently in a series that has been blessing the people of God. It has been blessing me to teach that word. We are really enjoying those teachings. I would love to see you be a part of any one of those services. I would love to see you be a part of any one of those services. Again, I thank you for taking your time out to listen to this message, listen to this tip. I pray that it again has blessed somebody. Remember, whatever you do, expect greater.